Hey, fourth graders.
Hello.
We're not doing fourth and fifth grade this time. It's
No,
just fourth grade. You're getting your own.
Graders. Yeah,
That's nice.
that's special.
It is special. It's always nice to get to be with just your group.
Yeah.
Special.
Before we get going with our day today, oh dear, I think Mr. Kevin and Miss Oslin are a little in the yellow zone. Let's check in with our zones, shall we, friends? All right, let's check in. How are you feeling today? How are your emotions feeling? What is your body feeling like? What is your brain doing? Okay, Mr. Kevin, what zone are you in?
So, as you probably have figured out, I'm a bit yellow.
Yeah, he's kind of in the silly zone.
Kind of in the silly zone.
That's
Because
okay.
it's afternoon. We've had lunch. And it's a little nice out there. Look
It is.
Look
And
behind you. Look at the
I know,
beautiful
it's gorgeous.
blue
And
sky.
it's starting to get a little warm and stuffy in the TV classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open a window if you need to, teachers.
Yeah, we will. Well,
Yeah. So,
maybe
Miss
in
Wally,
between
how are
episodes.
you today?
well, my brain and my emotions are in the green zone.
Good.
My body's in the blue zone. So over spring break, I tripped and fell and injured my shoulder. So it's really sore. Have you ever had it like where you hurt something and it's just sore and annoying? So it's just kind of like, ugh. But I'm okay.
Good.
My brain can focus. I'm good to go. I'm feeling great. Just, it's annoying.
Yeah.
It's putting me in the blue zone. But otherwise, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Like Mr. Kevin said, it's after lunch, so I'm kind of, and I want to go out there.
I do too. It's beautiful out there.
Yeah. So I guess I don't know what zone that. Maybe I'm like yellow, kind of distracted by the good weather, but
Yeah.
also a little bit tired after eating lunch.
Yeah. You know what's funny is you and Mr. Kevin get tired after eating lunch, and I get a burst of energy. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Interesting how our bodies all act differently to things.
Process food differently.
Nap time.
Not yet, Mr. Kevin.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Hey, on that note, let's play a brain game to wake ourselves up a little.
Sounds great.
Ooh, a brain
I
game.
love this brain game.
This is a fun brain game. The purpose of this brain game is to help us practice cognitive flexibility.
Ooh, say that again.
Cognitive flexibility.
What does that mean?
Ooh.
Cognitive. Well, I know what flexibility is. It's like the ability to move in all different directions as needed. Cognitive.
Cognitive has to do with how you think.
Oh, so it's being able to think flexibly.
Yes.
So like you might be going one direction, but then you have to switch and go the other. Like let's say you're planning a report and it's really excited and it was back before we were able to do virtual school and then there was a snow day.
Oh.
You would have to be flexible cognitively in how to manage that.
Yep. Or when you have a situation and there's more than one way to handle it.
Oh,
You have to think flexibly about
multiple choices.
which one you're going to do.
And why you're going to do it and what the best option is. I know that I've had some students that get stuck when that happens.
Yes.
Some students can handle it okay, but other students, the idea of having to go off the path can be really challenging for them and puts them into the yellow or red zone.
Or to have to make a choice.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to make a choice.
Oh my goodness. Every night. What do you want for dinner? I don't know. What do you want for dinner? So what we do is we make a plan every week and we plan out our meals so we don't have to make that choice because at 5 p.m. after we've both been working and all of us tired and hungry, we don't have the cognitive flexibility to make the choice. I think this is going to be a good game.
It will be. And it's fun. And it's something fourth graders that you can do at home with your people, maybe at dinner. This is something you can do in your classroom with your people there.
Or something you could do with younger siblings that
That's
they would be able
fun.
to do. They don't have to be able to write. They just have to be able to think.
So here's how this goes. It's called What's the Story? And I'm going to start with a story starter. It's just the first line of a story. And we're going to go around the circle between Mrs. Wally and Mr. Kevin and I and add on to the story about one line at a time.
Okay.
And the thing to think about here is that being flexible with our thinking is that Mrs. Wally doesn't know what I'm going to say. So when I say it, not only does she have to be a good listener, but she has to think flexibly about what she's going to say so our story makes sense.
And we might go around once, twice, 3, 4, we don't know, 5 times. We'll have it end wherever it makes sense to end.
And that's another part of the cognitive flexibility part.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. I was walking down the road and I found a magic wand.
So I bent down and I examined it closely. To my surprise, there was a button on the end.
That was gonna be my line. Okay.
So Mr. Kevin is going to have to be cognitively flexible right now.
I desperately wanted to push that button to find out what it was going to do. But just then,
a strong wind came and swept the wand out of my hand and down the street.
I had a decision to make. Do I follow the wand? Or do I go about my day?
I decided to follow the wand. I was really curious about what that button did.
So I ran after the wand, and the leaves were blowing everywhere. The wind was howling in my ears. So I finally got it. I had to step on it, and then I picked it up, and it was a bright red button. And I took my index finger, and I pushed it, and everything went black.
I said, hello? Hello? I heard a voice go, welcome.
Just then, out of the gloom and the darkness, appeared a giant elephant.
So I said to the elephant, nice to meet you. I'm Mrs. Oslin. And the elephant said,
I've been waiting for you. Miss Oslin, what made you push the red button? Friends, this can get silly.
And I said, well, I was curious as to whether I was going to meet up with an elephant who was a magician. Are you that elephant? And are you a magician?
and the elephant said, no, I too found a wand with a red button on the end and pushed it and found myself in this dark room with you.
Well, maybe we should push our red buttons again and see what happens.
So simultaneously,
Good
Mrs.
word.
Oslin and the elephant, whose name we don't know, but could be Huey or Elmer, they pushed their red buttons simultaneously, and then
Cognitive flexibility, Ms. Oslin.
I woke up and I was here at TV Classroom. I had fallen asleep after lunch.
And I said, Miss Oslin, are you okay? Was that an interesting dream?
I love that.
And there we go.
And there's our brain game.
So friends,
Yeah, go ahead. You explain.
it is so fun to play these games. I was so excited when we found out we got to do it again. And we actually had that prompt earlier in the week with a younger grade level. It was a completely different story.
It went a really different direction.
Totally different direction. And the great part is adults can have fun too.
Oh, yes.
So we hope that you choose to practice your cognitive flexibility by playing that game with people around you, people you love, people on the playground, and have a really good time. And it's a really fun way to come up with ideas to write about. Now, you may take that idea and decide to start jotting it down, and maybe you'll take the story in a different turn. And if you do, we would love to hear your stories.
Yes. We have been learning all about hurdles on the path to teamwork.
Yep.
And when we have any of these hurdles, we all have them on any team that we work with.
It's true.
It's important that we have cognitive flexibility to be able to solve our problems.
Yes.
The ability to look at a situation and recognize that there's no one way to solve it.
That's correct.
The hurdles that we've been learning about are...
Interrupting. Sorry, Miss
Wally?
I've been waiting all day to do that.
Blaming others. You just interrupted me.
Oh.
Excluding others.
Well, fine. I'm just not going to do it then.
Discussion problems.
Hmm.
Whatever. Hurtful words. Oh, I don't want to practice that
Let's
one.
not practice that one.
And revenge. And we're not going to practice that one.
We're not going to practice that one because that's not something you practice.
We've been learning about our feelings thermometer and how we can stop and think about how we're feeling and recognize when we're feeling a feeling really strongly.
Yes. We were all feeling joy really strongly during that game, which looked like laughing and having a good time.
Mm-hmm. And I have to pat us on the back because we were still able to come back and get serious when it was time to start the lesson.
We did. We definitely were at a 5 there for a while, but when it was time to come back and end the story, we were able to come back down to a 1 or a 0.
Yeah.
And continue on with our lesson.
That's not easy to do.
It's not.
Today we're learning to, here's a lot of big words. Are we ready?
Oh, we can do it.
We're learning to use consequential thinking to brainstorm strategies.
Consequence, I know what that is.
Mm-hmm. A consequence is?
Something that happens because of something that you do.
Mm-hmm. So consequential thinking to brainstorm strategies.
And a lot of people have a misconception about the word consequence.
Oh, tell me more.
When I say consequence, what do you think?
Punishment.
It's not.
Oh.
Consequence is just the thing that happens because of an action. It could be a positive thing. I went to work, I got paid.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a negative thing. I was mad and hit the table, now my hand hurts.
Called a natural consequence.
Right? A consequence is just the result of your action, whether it's positive or negative. But we've all heard all the teachers and the parents say, your consequence is, but it doesn't have to be negative. It can be positive too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we're going to think about use consequential thinking. If I do this,
then
what will happen? That's consequential thinking. To brainstorm strategies, we're going to use cognitive flexibility, think of lots of different ideas.
And think about what the consequences are and which ones we're okay with.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Sounds great.
We're going to think about what strategy you will use the next time you feel like blaming someone.
Ooh. It's really easy to blame someone or something for something that is actually your fault.
Mm-hmm. Or that's no one's fault. It just is. It's just a consequence. It is what it is.
The pandemic. It just is what it is. It's nobody's fault.
Right.
It's just happening and we need to let it happen.
Process it in the way that we need to and in a way that's healthy and safe for everyone.
Yes.
So, thinking about blaming others as a hurdle on the path to teamwork, how we can brainstorm strategies, use consequential thinking to solve that problem.
Okay.
We have a video that we're going to watch.
Great.
That's an example of some students working together on a team, and there was some blaming that happened.
It happens.
Okay.
That is the best poster ever!
Yeah, great job, dudes. Gosh, I hope my illustrations are okay. They were kind of hard to do.
They're okay. I think we're going to get a really good grade. Wow, we got the lowest grade in the class. Gee, Flash, if you'd taken your time and done better illustrations for our poster, we would have gotten an A. You let the team down. I hope I don't have to do a group project with you again.
Yikes.
So this was a group of 4th graders that had worked on a group project together, and they didn't get the grade that they thought they would get.
That happens.
It does. But they started blaming one of their teammates, saying, if you had done a better job, we would have gotten a better grade.
Oh. But maybe if they would have helped their teammate, they would have gotten a better grade. Oh.
Yeah.
Let's think it through, shall we?
Let's. Mr. Kevin?
I was just going to say that it seems to me like they kind of put it all on the one student who did the illustration.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really fair.
So maybe not a shared division of work in the
Right.
beginning.
Yeah.
Or making it so that only one part, so they don't have to accept responsibility. Accepting responsibility is a really hard thing to do, and blaming others is a much easier thing to do. So that's why we're going to talk about it.
So our think it through, it could be you chart says, what is Mona's problem? And how does Mona feel?
Well, Mona was definitely upset and frustrated.
The problem is that Mona got a different grade than they thought they deserved, maybe, or than they thought they would. Does the problem involve any other people? It involves the whole team.
The whole team. It's a team project. It's a team grade.
Yeah. And what could Mona do to solve the problem? This is where we're going to use consequential thinking to brainstorm strategies to solve this problem of blaming others. You already have an idea?
I have an idea.
Oh.
Maybe the team could discuss talking to the teacher about what they need to improve in their project and work together as a team to make edits and improve it for a better grade.
Oh, I like that.
As a team, not as one person, but like what needs to improve in our project, and then as a team work on it together.
Ooh, see, when we hear someone's ideas, we start to think of our own. Because I was having a hard time thinking of what this team could do, but now I'm thinking, what if the team came up with how they thought they could improve and went to the teacher?
Oh, even better.
Instead of saying, teacher, what do you think? They said, this is what we think we can do. Can we have more time? Or
we didn't get the grade we were expecting. We've come together as a team and talked about what we think we need to improve. Would it be okay if we do some improvements and see if we can get a better grade? I know as a teacher, I would say, yep, that's fine with me.
Oh, yeah. Before they came up with any ideas, I noticed a lot of them were feeling a feeling at a 4 or a 5
Oh, yeah. So
on the feelings thermometer. So they definitely need to use some stop and stay cool strategies to de-escalate or calm themselves down.
Mona needs to do something.
Mona needs to use
And
iMessage. I feel, because
I'm feeling frustrated because I worked really hard on my part of the project and we didn't get the grade that I wanted.
It could even be, say, maybe to another teammate, I feel like I did my part, but I don't see where everyone else did their part. Or show me, I guess that kind of does sound like blaming. How could we word that in a way where it's asking,
It's okay to feel frustrated that you didn't get the grade you wanted. I feel frustrated that I didn't get the grade I wanted because I worked really hard.
And thinking of it more as a team. Like, how can we work together?
What can we do to make it better?
What could we do to make it better?
Without assigning blame to any one person.
And then using our stop and stay cool steps. Of course, stop and think. This could be when you're feeling a 4 or 5, or this could be when we're brainstorming strategies too, right? Where we stop and think. Maybe we use positive self-talk. I can come up with some strategies. I can be flexible in my thinking.
Because what Mona doesn't know is maybe that was that student's very best work and they worked hours and hours and hours on that part of their project.
Well, then Mona would need to make sure that they treat others the way they wanted to be treated. Because how do we think that person would want to be treated if they worked for hours and hours and hours on a project and now they're getting blamed?
Right. And maybe it's not even their fault. Maybe everybody was missing a piece.
Oh, that's true. So today we're learning to use consequential thinking to brainstorm strategies. if I blame this person, what's going to happen? It's not going to get us a better grade.
Right. Like if Miss Osmond and I were working together and Miss Osmond put the PowerPoints, because that's what she does in our team. She does the PowerPoints and I do the input charts. And let's say the PowerPoint slides were a little bit out of order and the lesson didn't go very well.
It's happened.
And I could say, well, now we have to refilm because you didn't do your job. That would feel awful.
It would. And I did do my job. I just made a mistake.
Instead, I'm like, oh, yeah, sometimes we get it mixed up. It's all right. We'll do better next time.
We'll just roll with it. And then I would learn and I would feel safer with Mrs. Wally, knowing that if I make a mistake going forward,
it's going to be okay.
I just fix it.
We all make mistakes. There's not a single person in this world that doesn't make mistakes. I'm sorry, friends. None of you are perfect. It's true.
It's true. So we brainstormed some strategies where the team would come together and think about approaching the teacher, asking for more time. They would think about coming up with a plan on their own for how they could improve.
And then submitting that request to the teacher and getting permission to do that.
Mr. Kevin said, well, it sounds like that one student had most of the work. So maybe they need to go back and re-look at how they distributed the job.
For the next time they work as a team. Sometimes it's, well, it happened. The teacher might say, nope, the project's over. So now they need to think about what they're going to do next time when they're a team to do an even better job than this time.
So your job is to use consequential thinking and brainstorm some strategies and write or draw a poem or write a poem or draw a picture or act out.
You could like get together with someone in your home and do a skit on a problem that comes up and blaming others and how to come up with some different strategies to use.
And you can send that to us or post it to our Flipgrid.
And we would love you to post the Flipgrid. We've had many students look at the Flipgrid, but we haven't had a brave person yet actually respond. And we are so excited for that first person to respond. We have all sorts of goodies to give away. So be that brave person. Be the first person that's brave enough to get on there and respond. It can even just be a typed comment. You don't have to,
you
don't have to show your face or do a video. And then people will start commenting. And then it gets really fun because we get to collaborate as a community of Tacoma fourth graders. It's going to be amazing.
It is. Now, Mr. Kevin, if our fourth graders don't want to post anything to Flipgrid, but they still want to share their ideas with us, how can they do that?
All they have to do is head to their laptop and email us at tvclassroom@tacoma.k12.wa.us, and the teachers will respond.
Oh, we do. We do respond.
Absolutely. With smiles on their faces.
You can't see them, but they're there.
And then you can also mail us something to TV Classroom. And we've had students mail us things, and we always put them on screen, right?
Yep.
We do.
Yeah. TV Classroom at 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Mr. Kevin. All right, now it's time for our affirmation. We practiced a lot of really important skills today.
We did practice important skills today.
I think one of the more important one was having cognitive flexibility, because that applies to so many different situations.
It does. It applies when you're doing work. It applies when you're at home dealing with family. It applies when you're working on a project. It applies when you're deciding what to eat. It applies, I mean, you have to use cognitive flexibility all the time.
And it can be exhausting.
Oh, there are some days where I have to be really flexible all the time, and it's so hard for my brain. But we do it.
I can have cognitive flexibility.
Great affirmation.
Let's take a deep breath and say our affirmation. I can have cognitive flexibility. Excellent job today, fourth graders. We hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope it's beautiful like this for you. We look forward to seeing you back here next time in our TV classroom.
See you later. See you on Flipgrid.
seconds to pick your crewmate. 2. A new timer will appear with an exercise for the crewmate you picked. 3. You will get points for each correct crewmate and exercise you choose. 4. You will get bonus points if you find Maui's hook. 5. If you pick the imposter, you will lose all your points. 6. Use your math skills to see how many points you can get. Good luck.